But listen, marriage is not the suspension of your brain cells. It is not an animated state of unconsciousness to self. It is fulfillment of self. If you cannot be fulfilled with a person, then of what use? So what happens to the marriage oath that now tells you that till death do you part? In sickness, in health, you cannot live. For richer, for poorer, you cannot live. And you know why this man is poor? Because he will not listen to sound advice. You know why this woman lost the business? Because it is what is on her mind she will do. She will not listen to anybody. She will keep quiet or you advise her. But just leave. It is that same thing she wants to do, she will do. So what happens? I think I was 2 minutes late. Sorry about that. Good to see you here again. Thought you'll be offline too for the rest of the year. Yes, you people got me into trouble. I should say that. You got me into trouble though. Because of that, my office is closed for the end of the year. Yes, my office is closed for the end of the year. I have received so much threats. You know, somebody came to my office to threaten me that I dare not close my office. I wasn't sure if it was a joke. You know, you're looking at someone, you're not sure what, you know, is he serious? Is he? He said, I came all the way. I listen, I don't call in. What do you mean? I'm closing the office. So you're not going to come to the radio station. You can close your radio. You're not going to. I said, I'm not really sure. You know, I'm tired. The man said, oh God, don't say that nonsense again. What do you mean? Okay, and but I have to check myself. Man said, if money is your problem, you let us know. We'll know what to do. Don't. I said, oh God, I don't have salary. You are the one that brought in money. And he said, I said, the way that you are coming is like you want to beat me. He said, I will beat you. Nothing will happen. I will beat you. Nothing will happen. I now said, okay, what's the problem now? He said, what do you mean? Is that how people just go? You just go. I'm closing the office. You just go like that. So what will happen to us? You know, after all the threats I shout, the man gave me 100,000 naira. So what's your account? Transfer 100,000. I said, please now, it's not, you know, I'm very uncomfortable. I said, okay, no vex. I will do my best. He said, so you mean no relationship 360 on Saturday? You will not talk, okay, people will come, you say the office is locked. I said, yes. And he brought out his phone again. I thought I wanted to transfer another one. I just was smiling. But that, I'm in danger for that. Thank you very much. I really appreciate everybody for your concern, for how would I put it? It seemed that announcing that a lot of people now came out of the shadows, people I never knew existed. People send me messages like, don't try it. But what will now happen? That my Saturday is not complete. And the issue is that, you know, these things can go into somebody's head. And the person will start feeling big that, yes, I have arrived. See us. And it's very dangerous because the moment pride enters my head, you know I will start misbehaving. And pride always comes before a fall. So, well, they say that may God not let you know how much you are worth. And I don't know. Well, I pray. I'm humbled. And at the same time, I'm weighing it. I can't open the office. The work is much. And then my emotional well-being as well. My family. My wife was in an accident some days ago. Domestic accident in her office. A machine fell on her leg. She makes furniture. So one of those industrial machines fell. But it's better. I mean, she couldn't walk for like 2 days, but it's better now. And I just have to rest. I have to with this one that I'm resting. That now I go to the office like twice a week. People are coming. The security man will call me that people have been sitting outside. But please, it mustn't get to my head that I'm important. It cannot, we're all, God is the one that is important. So the consequence of that now is that I must now be on air so that pride will not enter my head. That's the problem. So maybe next time I won't announce it, I will just disappear. Pride cannot, 6 things the Lord hates. The 7th is an abomination. The first is a proud look. There is nowhere. Your pride comes from hailing. Thank you. She's let me even call herself. Her leg, she's walking now. I was, but I thank God that no bones were broken. We did the scan. It was swollen like a machine, an industrial machine. I don't know what she was doing. But let me it is well. Thank you, dearest Meg. Please take all the time you need to rest. You need it. If you don't rest, you'll be rested and people will move on with their own lives. That is true. People will definitely move on. Thank you. So today I want to just now the consequence of all this is that now I must be on air because of all this thing, so that it doesn't get to my head. But I want to quickly talk about something. She's available. Let me say hi. I was just say hello about your leg. People were
okay. Hello. Good evening.
She had one leg. She couldn't, but she's fine now. She can walk. So I want to get serious on as the year is going down and we have just one more month. I was in a reflection of how things have been going, the cases that I've had, and you will just look at 2022, what is going on. It's been a little tough, and I did a scale of a lot of cases were either involved in or consulted about, and then the fatalities of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, can I tell you something? Yes, last week. Oh, I'm so sorry. Last week I think I took over 2 hours. I was just upset. I was upset at the hypocrisy. I'm sorry about that. I don't even want to watch that again. I was just like, Olumide, for 2 hours. So, ladies and gentlemen, I mentioned some traits that you cannot marry. You should not be in a relationship with. If you know that you're in a relationship with, don't go ahead. But then when you are now married to that trait, what will you do? Thank you, EC_Onma. There is a terrible trait called malice. I said 7 traits never to marry. Malice. Malicious people. I would define it again so that people understand. The Oxford Dictionary defines malice as the desire to harm someone. That's malice. Desire to harm. That is desire. It was not a mistake. I'm harming you and I know I am harming you. I know what I am doing is going to hurt you emotionally, may hurt you physically. So I know what I'm doing. That is malice. It is described as bad will. When you have bad will, or you do something bad to another person and it is intentional, so you cannot be mistakenly malicious. There is no mistaken or mistaking malice. So synonyms for malice: grudge, malevolent, spiteful, bitter, venom, revenge, and all that. There are 3 variations to malice. The first, as I always tell you, is to be careful to be with people that don't forgive easily. It takes them time. Their hearts are deep and forgiveness is expensive. It takes them time to forgive, to get over an issue. Now, you are with someone and there is what I call dispute resolution. You haven't fought, so you don't know how they resolve disputes. You don't know how they handle disagreements. You don't know. You need to know how the person you are seeing handles disappointments, disagreements, anger. Beware of those people who don't forgive easily, who don't forget. It's not that by forgetting we mean that it is removed for our brains, but the same way they felt the first day it happened is the same way they still feel 2 years later. They never let you forget. They remind you that is how you did that day that I was walking. That's how you did. And you said this, that. Something you said 5 years ago. They find it difficult to forgive. That is the first variant. The second variant to malice, which makes it a little more difficult, is in dispute resolution. It is almost impossible to settle a dispute with someone who cannot forget the dispute. So you have an argument. You call them, they don't pick your calls. You send a message, it doesn't respond to your text. It doesn't. And you're like, are you still angry? But I have apologized. In fact, it might not even be that it was totally your fault. But whatever it is, you did it. If you did not, and you see, when you meet, even friends that don't forgive easily are people you should not have around. Because there is nobody perfect. Even they would offend you. They would expect you to forgive them and forget about it. But they will hold it to their dying date. Now, this is what you need to understand. Marriage is not a prayer point, which means marriage is no respecter of religion. It is no respecter of education. Marriage would always assume the character of the parties involved. The character of the spouses is what marriage will magnify. So when you want to marry, be prepared to see that character on a stage. That is, it will be giving grand audience. So it makes you understand that when you want to marry someone and you are saying, don't worry, he will change, No, marriage will display fully that character you are hoping to change. If he lies, he will lie more. You understand what I'm saying? If he's angry, shut up, he's abusive. When you are now married, you would see the magnification of that trait. So I always tell you, during dating, that is why you need to date, to get to know character. That dating, the midpoint of dating is asking yourself this question: can I take it for the rest of my life? Can I take this character? This is shouting, these are arguments. Can I take it for the rest of my life? If the answer is no, then step back. Now, malice also seeks to dominate relationships. It is triggered by envy. It is triggered by jealousy. When they are not able to dominate relationships, there is a problem. Now, this is the third variation of malice, and this has been the story of my 2022 in advocacy, in domestic violence and abuse, and in those that we have buried, those that we have lost this year. You need to understand that we have lost a lot of people. We've lost over 200 people in 365 days. In the first quarter, that is between April last year and May this year, the Domestic and Sexual Violence Response Team have had over 4,000 calls. Now, when there are 4,000 calls in 365 days, it tells you that every day you have about 400. Of those are fatalities. I can tell you that between, I always say it, January and March, 64 people just died like that. Osinachi was 65 this year. Now, this third variant of malice is the big problem. Malice is triggered by envy and jealousy. Malice is triggered by the success of another person. In criminal law, when you say it was done with malice, it means it was done intentionally, with prejudice, with malice. Now, why did Cain kill Abel? Because he offered a better sacrifice. Now, Abel was not even concerned with Cain. Abel did not look at Cain. We were to give two sacrifices. I went to gather my own. You went to gather your own. I burnt my own. You burnt your own. God accepted my own. God did not accept yours. And then you tell me to come. You want to show me something. And I follow you. Next thing, you take a stone and you kill me. What did I do? I offered a better sacrifice. We are not even in the same profession. You are a hunter. I'm a farmer. We were not competing in the same line of business. But because you were successful. Ladies and gentlemen, don't be with people that cannot handle your success. People that cannot support your dreams. This has been 2022. When you marry someone who is threatened by your progress. I handled a case today. I was in Panti, State CID. It was a petition I had written. So they brought the woman. Can you believe that she was a tailor that was sewing both male and female clothing? But because of the husband, she had to stop sewing male clothing because anybody she measured, she must be sleeping with the person. Intentional because she makes more money from male clothing than female clothing. You know, men's clothes are kind of more expensive. They were both bankers. But because they were going to marry, she had to step down, first of all. Then she went into fashion design. She was doing well. This bothered a gentleman and said, no, it doesn't want her to have a shop outside. That what are they sewing? That is just used in the house, so you don't go anywhere. Then who are these men? I'm sewing their clothes now. Because of that, she had to be going to deliver because she could not take measurement. You know, she had to say in 8 years of marriage, what have you done for me? Everything I try to do, you bring it down. Every idea. Why? Because she cannot afford to do well.